Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, gentle practice today. We'll bring in some gentle movement and some postures to help us open across the chest, the upper back, side body, find some spaciousness in the body. You may want a couple of yoga blocks for this practice, so grab them and find your way to your mat. And then meet me on your back. We will begin in a short shavasana. We'll stop before we get started. So find your way down, find your comfortable shavasana. You can have knees bent if that feels better for your low back. You could extend your legs down the mat and bring the feet to outer corners and just let the feet roll in or out, whichever way they naturally feel like going. And then you could bring hands to rest on belly, or one hand on belly, one hand on heart, or arms out to your sides, palms facing up or down if you feel like you need some grounding energy today. And if it feels okay for you, you can close your eyes or just find a soft gaze. And then begin to relax and soften. If you like, you could rock the head from side to side a few times, gently releasing tension from your neck. And then bring your head back to center. Let your whole body soften, relax, and melt down into your mat, into the earth. Relax everything, your feet, your toes, arches of feet, soles of feet, heels and ankles, tops of your feet. Relax through your legs. Relax your hips and your pelvis. Relax through your buttocks and your belly. Relax through the back of your body, your low back, mid back, and upper back. Relax through the front of your torso. Relax your rib cage and your chest. Relax your collarbones and your shoulders and your arms, front and back. Relax your hands and your fingers and your fingertips. Relax your neck and your throat. Relax the corners or the hinges of your jaw. Relax your tongue and the roof of your mouth. Relax your face, your eyes, your eyebrows, space in between your eyebrows. Relax your cheekbones and your temples, your forehead, your scalp. And relax it open through the crown of your head. Whole body's relaxed. Begin to check in with yourself and just notice, how are you feeling today? What's happening for you today? What do you bring to the mat with you? Notice any thoughts running through your mind or any mental mind loops. Notice your emotional tone, any feelings or emotions you're dealing with. Notice any physical sensations in your body. And notice how your energy feels. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice today. And please make it your practice. Opt out of anything that doesn't feel right to you. And keep the parts that work. Begin to gently call yourself back. Invite some gentle movement into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Open your hands, open through the bottoms of your feet. Curl fingers in, make fists, curl toes in, make foot fists. And any movement here, feel free to yawn, sigh, wiggle, stretch. And then bring your legs together and reach your arms up overhead. Reach up through your fingers and down through your toes. And then reach up through your right fingers and down through your right toes. And reach up through your left fingers and down through your left toes. And then again, reach the whole body long, fingers to toes. Imagine you're just waking up in the morning. What does your body want to do? Find that movement, that pandiculation, that contraction and slow release that you see animals doing when they first wake up in the morning, stretching their bodies out. And then you can bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat, point the knees up towards the ceiling. And now we'll take the fingers behind the head, interlace your fingers behind your head, thumbs running down the back of your neck. Take your elbows out to the sides. And now, keeping everything as it is, keep your head facing up towards the ceiling. We'll move the eyes only. And look with your eyes over in the direction of your right elbow. And then hold your gaze looking over towards that right elbow. We'll stay for about 30 to 60 seconds. This is called the basic exercise, created by Stanley Rosenberg, can help to reset the alignment of the two top vertebrae, atlas and axis of the cervical spine. Can help to stimulate your vagus nerve, begin to calm down the nervous system. And then bring your eyes back to center. You can close your eyes or blink your eyes. And now, keeping everything as it is, head facing up towards ceiling. Still, we'll move the eyes and look over towards that left elbow now. So only the eyes move. And we'll be on this side 30 to 60 seconds. So noticing if you have the urge to sigh or swallow or yawn, which would be indicators that you're beginning to engage that relaxation response, your parasympathetic nervous system. And then you can bring your eyes back to center, blank the eyes or shut the eyes for a moment, and then release hands from behind your head. Bring the arms down alongside your body, and we'll begin to wake up the spine, rolling through a few rounds of some pelvic rocking. So as you inhale, tilt your tail down towards the mat. You'll feel your back begin to arch and lift up off of your mat. And then as you exhale, tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling. You'll feel the low back begin to press down. Again, with your inhale, tail tilts down towards the mat, back will lift. And then as you exhale, tail tilts back up, low back presses down. And then just rock yourself back and forth following the rhythm of your breath. And then bring yourself back to your neutral spine starting point here. And then we'll take the fingers behind the head again, interlace fingers behind the head, elbows wide. And we'll roll through some more pelvic rocking here. As you inhale, again, tail will tilt down, back will arch. And then this time as you exhale, tilt the tail up towards the ceiling, low back will press down. And now wrap your elbows around your ears, curl your head, shoulders, torso up off of the mat. Inhale brings you back down, elbows come wide, tail tilts down, back arches. As you exhale, tail will tilt up, low back presses down, elbows wrap around the ears, you curl up. Inhale, bring it back down, tail tilts down, arch the back. And then with your exhale, you tilt it up, elbows wrap around the ears again. And then lower yourself back down. And then release hands from behind the head. Take elbows or arms out to each side. T formation, palms facing up. Pull knees in towards your chest. And then we'll drop the knees over towards the right side. So knees are stacked on top of each other. And then we'll take that left hand, reach it over your body to your right palm. So palms come together. Finding your way onto the right side, and then we'll peel the left arm back, open again over to the left side. And again, reach that left hand over to meet the right, palms touch. And then we'll open up this left arm, again, opening through the chest, unfurling left arm, finding this twist. And then one more time, left hand comes back to meet the right, and then you open it up. And then we'll hug in through the belly, draw knees back in towards center, and bring the knees over to the left. So knees are stacked on top of each other. Upper body is in this twist position. And then we'll bring it over onto your left side. Right palm comes to meet the left. And then open up that right arm out to your right side again. Opening through the chest. And then right hand comes back over to meet that left palm. And then again, open up that right arm. And then one more time, right hand comes back over to meet the left. And then you open that right arm back out to the right side. And then hug the knees into center. And then find your way over onto your left side. And then we'll stack the knees again, bring the knees out in front of you. Come up onto your left forearm, and you could have this left forearm at an angle towards the top of your mat or parallel-ish to the top of your mat. You can take your right hand to that right hip. And then allow the left side of the rib cage to sort of sink down towards the mat and shrug that left shoulder up towards your ear, finding some space through the left side of the rib cage, and then press down into the left hand, lift your rib cage up, press the floor away with that left arm, and then slowly release and let the rib cage sort of melt down towards the mat, and then press into that left arm, lift up that left side of the rib cage, and then again slowly lower your rib cage down. And then find your way over to your right side now, however you want to get there. Same thing. We'll take the knees out in front, knees stacked on top of each other. Coming onto that right hand, right forearm. And then allowing this right side of the rib cage to melt down towards the mat. Finding some space through that right side of the body, and then pressing into that right arm, lifting up through the rib cage, releasing that right side of the rib cage down. Right shoulder shrugs up towards the ear, and then again press into the floor, lift up through the rib cage, and then lower your right side of the rib cage down to the mat. Right shoulder hunches back up towards the ear. Find some space there. Take a breath or two here. And then find your way over onto your belly. And now we will take the right arm out to the right side, palm to face down. You can come up onto your left finger pads, roll yourself up onto that right hip, stack your legs, and you can rest your right temple or cheek down to the mat, and you can stay here, or you could bend that left knee, step that left foot back behind your right leg. You could stay here, or you can reach that left arm around and back, moving it towards that right hand and feeling the opening across the front of the chest here. And then slowly roll yourself back onto your belly. Same thing, other side. We'll extend left arm out to the left side. Roll yourself up onto that left hip, stack legs. Maybe bend that right knee, step that foot back behind you, and then stay here, or reach that right hand around behind you, reaching towards the left hand or just in that direction. And then Roll yourself back on to your belly. We'll take hands under shoulders, hug elbows in towards the rib cage, root down into your fingers and your toes and your pubic bone, and then lift your heart, coming up for a baby cobra. And then release yourself down, and then again, elbows hug in, lift up your heart, root down through the tops of your feet, baby cobra. And then release yourself down again. And then one more time, elbows hug in, heart lifts, baby cobra, hold here. Or you could press into your hands, lift yourself up for a full cobra. You could have a big or little bend in your elbows here. And then we'll lower it back down. And then press yourself back into a child's pose. You could have knees together, or you could take the knees wide, bring the big toes towards each other behind you. Bring your bum back to your heels, and then maybe give your hips a little rock from side to side, or just find some stillness and take a few deep, delicious breaths, filling up the back of your lungs with your breath. And then bring yourself up to sit on your heels. And if you had your knees wide, you can bring the knees back in. And then we'll come up to stand on the knees. You could have the tops of the feet down, or you could tuck the toes under, come up onto balls of the feet. Hug in through your inner thighs. Reach your tailbone down. Low belly drawing in and up. Crown of your head reaching up. Reach the arms up. Palms together overhead. Bend your elbows, drop your hands back behind your head. Lift up through your heart. Shift the gaze up. Hug in through your belly, reach the arms back up. And then hands can come down, come back to sit on your heels. And then we'll take it into a puppy pose, and you may want blocks for this. So we'll come down, we'll start in our table, and from table, either lower yourself down onto the forearms, can release the forehead down to the mat if that feels okay for you. So you could have arms extended, could rise up onto your finger pads here, so arms are lifted. You could use your blocks. Take the blocks in front of you and come down onto the elbows here, and then bring the palms together. Release your forehead down to the mat and draw the hands back behind your head. Hips are still lined up over the knees. So either version for your puppy pose or Anahatasana. And then bring the arms back down. If you're using blocks, you can move them out to your side. Bring yourself into a table posture. And then we'll roll through some cat-cow here. Inhaling, tail lifts, belly softens, heart draws forward, gaze lifts. And then as you exhale, round your back up towards the ceiling. Look towards your navel. Press the floor away with your hands. Inhale brings you back into your cow. Heart lifts. And then as you exhale, you round the back up. And then bring yourself back into your table and extend your right leg back behind you, hip level-ish, and then bend that right knee. Draw that knee underneath your body. Step or carry right foot up to top of your mat. Press down into that foot. Reach your arms up. We'll find our way into a low lunge. Hug the right hip back. And then palms together overhead. Drop hands behind your head. Lift up through your heart. And then arms reach back up. Hands come down to the mat. Step yourself back into your table. And then we'll extend the left leg back, hip level-ish. And then bend that left knee, draw under your body. Round up through your back. Step or carry that left foot up to the top of your mat. Press down into that foot. Lift yourself up. Arms reach up. Pressing down through the feet. Hugging in through the inner legs. low lunge, and then palms come together. Drop hands behind your head. Lift your heart up. Elbows reach up. And then zip up through your belly. Arms come back up. Hands come down to the mat. Step yourself back into your table. And then we'll find our way into downward dog. Tuck your toes under. Press into your hands. Glide your hips up and back. And start with a big or little bend in the knees here. Find some movement. Gently pulsing yourself back and forth, or pedaling out your legs, or bending and straightening knees. And then slowly walk yourself up to the top of your mat, finding your way into forward fold, lifting belly up off of thighs, bringing the torso parallel-ish to the floor. And then we'll hinge from the hips, bring the belly back to the thighs. Big or little bend in your knees here if you need to make that happen. So we're hinging from the hips, not rounding out through the low back. And then you can reach hands to the mat or grab your elbows, shake, nod your head, sway hips, sway arms. And then bring yourself to center, hands to hips, press into your feet. Lift your heart, come all the way up to stand. Arms sweep around and up, palms together overhead, and then hands come back to your heart. Anjali Mudra. Let's step the right foot back. We'll bring it into a warrior one. Bend that left knee, root down through that back heel. Arms reach up, and then palms together overhead. Bend elbows, drop hands back behind head, lift your heart. Reach the elbows up, and then hug in through the belly. Bring yourself back up. Arms reach back up. Hands come down. We'll step it forward. And then we'll switch it to the other side. Step your left foot back. We'll bring it into a warrior one on this side, bending the right knee, hugging the right hip back. Left hip hugs forward a little bit. Back knee feels great. If it feels tweaky, shorten up your stance. And then arms reach up. Palms together, hands drop behind the head, lift up through the heart, and then zip up through the belly, arms come back up, sink a little deeper into that front knee, and then release arms down, step yourself forward. Let's step that right foot back again. Bend that left knee, reach the arms up, palms together, bend elbows, drop the hands back, lift the heart. Then reach the hands back up, and now we'll reach the hands over in front of us. Take the weight forward into that left foot. Begin to lift that right leg up and bring your head down towards that left knee, finding standing splits. And then slowly you step that right foot back to the mat. Lift yourself back up. Let's find warrior one again. And then release the arms down, step that right foot forward, coming back to our Tadasana. And then other side, step left foot back, bend right knee, reach the arms up, palms together, drop the hands back behind the head, lift up your heart, press into the feet, hug in through the legs, arms reach back up, and then we reach the hands forward to the mat in front of us. Shift the weight into that right foot. Lift up. Send that left leg up and back. Your standing splits. And then we slowly step left foot back to the mat and bring it back up. Warrior one. And then step it forward. Arms sweep out and up. Palms together overhead. Fold yourself back in, forward fold, and then bend your knees enough so you can get your hands down to the mat. Step yourself back into your downward dog. Pedal out the legs, bend, straighten the knees, rock yourself back and forth or side to side. Lower your knees down to the mat. Drop yourself over to one hip, shift your legs around. Plant your feet with your knees bent. Reach the arms forward. Slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Send your arms and legs up towards the ceiling. Give everything a little shake, rock, wiggle, whatever feels good, free-form movement. And then find your way back into your Shavasana, back to where we started. And take a breath or two here, or stay here for as long as you like. We'll bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly, and come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with ourselves. And then release your hands. Roll yourself over to one side. Find your way into the fetal position. And then slowly press yourself up. Bring yourself back into a comfortable seat. And then take your palms together at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing this short, gentle practice with me. I hope it helped. With love and gratitude. Namaste.